The storms and their aftermath have claimed the lives of 5 people across Kentucky, including one woman right here in the tri-state. Officials telling us tonight that 48-year-old Sandra Eckert of Barnsley died. That's in Hopkins County. She died from blunt force trauma. Her husband remains in intensive care tonight. The National Weather Service is surveying the damage left behind from those storms. We begin our live team coverage in Hopkins County, where Jessica Costello and Hannah Hurley are in areas hit by the storm. We'll get to Hannah in Olney in just a moment, but we start with Jessica tonight. She is live in the community of Charleston. Jessica, what are you seeing there?
Brendan, there's no other way to describe it other than devastating. We've been talking about it all day, but hundreds of people in Hopkins County, especially here in this small community of Charleston, are without a home. They've been without power for hours and don't really know when they'll get that back, some even without water. Now, we've been talking about destruction and devastation all day, but I think it's really important to note that we've talked to so many hopeful people today that are just so lucky to be alive. That includes one man that thanks his storm shelter for being able to tell us that today. Now, I'm sitting in that storm shelter. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is all he needed to be alive today. You're looking at 4 concrete walls. You're looking at some water, some batteries, a flashlight, and 2 chairs, and a whole lot of hope must have been in here because so low in the ground that you have to crouch to be in it. But as soon as you walk out, you have a man-made door by Goodaker himself, and when you look out this way, we are standing in his basement, the basement that many people would run to during a strong storm or a tornado. But if you look around, I'm not really sure how that would have panned out, considering the walls are gone, cinder blocks are thrown everywhere, tools that were hanging are spread out across the area. So this is one of those situations where you can see just how important these storm shelters are. Now, this is Goodaker's home. He says when he heard the storm was headed his way, he got down in his concrete wall storm shelter, locked that door, and just waited. He says he didn't hear much from inside, but this heavy-duty door that we just showed you was being bullied by that tornado and was worried it was going to get ripped off. He would be sucked right outside. And it was only after the tornado back in 2021 that this storm shelter came to mind.
Well, after the first tornado hit Dawson here, I knowed right then I better build something other because it's probably going to get another one. And 2 years, what, a year and a half, 2 years since it hadn't hit, it hit this one. So it was a good thing that I decided to build that. Right here.
The good news is Goodaker says he basically walked away untouched. Now, you may have noticed in that soundbite that he had his arm wrapped. He tells us he got that after walking around in the rubble, taking a look at what was left of his home. And Brandon, this is just one of the many incredible stories that we've heard here in the Charleston town just all day. One of hope and one of we will rebuild. Now, in the meantime, city, county leaders, neighboring cities leaders are coming in, especially even the governor, are trying to figure out the next steps in assessing this damage. And of course, we'll continue to cover that as we learn more. Live here in Hopkins County tonight, Jessica Costello, Eyewitness News.